It is a weekend preview episode here on the Buckeye Breakdown podcast on the Buckeyes Roundtable YouTube channel. Anthony Moeglin jumping in here with my partner, former Buckeye Kevin Woidke, as we get you set for what should be another fun weekend in college football. It's crazy. We're working our way through the football season. Week 9, I think, Kevin, high school football. Week 7 in college football. Week 6 or something in the NFL. It's wild. I say it every week, and I'm going to continue to say it. It's wild how fast these seasons roll together. But it's certainly looking to be a fun weekend here in college football. So we're going to dive right into it and take a look around college football at some of the big games that are coming our way on Saturday. And Kev, it's funny, you're looking around the Big Ten, there's not much in terms of like ranked matchups, but I think there's some fringe games, at least in the Big Ten, that are going to have some people's attention.
Yeah, I agree. Before we jump right into it, I noticed, I know a lot of fans are asking questions. Brendan Gulick, yes, he is still with us. He has been absent for a while. He is absent from today's show for a multitude of reasons. I think currently he is in South Africa.
South Africa.
Down there. He's actually doing a big program for him down there. So, hats off to him. Absolutely. No, but back to business. The Big Ten, there'll be some fun games. I'm most excited because I've been high on them all year, is the second game we're going to talk about. So I know you have some comments about the first. I don't care about anyone who plays in the first. I think Washington's a beautiful campus. I love Husky dogs. They did not impress me when we played them. People were talking about how good of a team they were. If this is a close game or if they end up winning, there'll be a lot of question marks for Shamar Moore.
Okay, so let's talk about this real quick because the reason that I put this first is twofold here. I think that I wanted to get your perspective on this because I think it's more so a Big Ten question as a whole, because a lot of the conversation this week, at least in my scrolling, in my reading, was the fact that Washington specifically, but there's not a lot of Big Ten teams that are ranked in the top 25 at all. Obviously, you got in the top 10, you got Ohio State, you got Indiana, you got Oregon, who are all in the top 10. Then you got USC, who's ranked number 20, and then Nebraska ranked 25th. But there was some conversation around Washington being a 5-1 team with their only loss being to the number 1 team in the country. And the word disrespect was getting thrown around. The SEC bias was getting thrown around. I do want to, and I'm just throwing this at you. I didn't even prep you with any of this. Do you feel like there's a little bit of that? I guess specifically talking about this Washington team, that maybe they should have a number next to their name, and maybe they get one if they can go to Michigan this weekend and get a win.
I think they will get a number next to their name. However, I don't know because here's my comment with that is the one game they had this year where I got to look over their schedule while I'm talking about it. But I mean, the one big challenge they had was us, and it wasn't even close. People were talking about how we were in like if you're using stick shift, we were on gear 1.
Yeah, first gear. While you're looking that up, I'll cover in here for a little bit. So Washington's 5-1. Their wins over Colorado State, they won 38-21. They beat UC Davis 70-10. They beat Washington State 59-24. Obviously lose to Ohio State 24-6, and then they beat Maryland last week, but they needed to come back, or 2 weeks ago, needed to come back to do it. They win 24-20, and then they beat Rutgers 38-19. And so you look at that schedule and you're like, I don't really know. There's not too many great wins in there. And this isn't a negative Washington show. It's just, I don't know, maybe the state of the Big Ten, the bottom, I guess, of the Big Ten is I think maybe worse than what people may be leading on.
I mean, yeah, I think that my premise is, other than us, it's Maryland. And Maryland's had some good wins this year, but really you only won by 4 against a Maryland team, which is, I haven't watched enough film, so I'm not going to sit here and talk dog Maryland, but I don't think they're really what I would call a powerhouse by any sense of the word.
Yeah. No, it's interesting, and maybe this week's a good week. But the way I kind of view the Big Ten is like the top tier is obviously us, Indiana, Oregon, and then that second tier is USC, Nebraska, Michigan's in there, Illinois, but the difference between the top tier and that tier 2 might as well be a mile, because it doesn't feel like those teams can even really compete with each other. So definitely we'll have that one on maybe while you're finishing cleaning up the house and getting your house ready, or maybe finishing your preparations for the 3:30 kick that in Wisconsin for Ohio State. But yeah, you wanted to talk about this one, the big one at 3:30 in the Big Ten. Indiana hosting the Michigan State Spartans. Indiana coming off one of the biggest wins in all of college football. Michigan State coming off a pretty bad loss last week. So, Kev, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
So, I think Michigan State's better than they've been. I mean, they went to USC and lost by 14. They hosted Boston College, who I think is a well-coached team in Phil O'Brien, and they won by 2 at home in overtime. They lost Nebraska by 11, which is rough. And then they got bullied by UCLA last week. Yeah. However, I was very high on them to start the year. I think they're a well-coached team. I think they have a chance to go into Indiana and play spoiler. I think that they're obviously able to compete in the Big Ten. I think Indiana's riding the high of Oregon, similar to when we lost those games that we shouldn't have when I was there. Like the Purdue game was right. The Purdue and the Iowa game and the Purdue game were right after big top 5 matchups against Penn State, who we don't even need to get into that. I posted a community note about it on the Roundtable.io website. But it just, I don't know. I mean, I think this will be a fun game. Maybe they'll blow them out. Who knows? But Indiana looked good against Oregon last week, but it's also, they've been able to prep for Oregon for weeks because they've played nobody. Like, I mean, I can't emphasize that enough. They beat Indiana, who we played Indiana too, and we showed that they aren't a good team. They have a great quarterback. I'm not going to say they don't, but I mean, Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, shout out. I was recruited by the Sycamores.
Larry Bird.
Yeah, and then they played Iowa in back-to-back weeks. They go Illinois, which they had to prep for, Iowa, which they really didn't, and only won by 5, and then a bye week, and then they played Oregon. Yeah. Like if you have a bye week going into your biggest game of the year, it's a huge advantage. And that's where I think that, I don't know what's going to happen this week, but I could see Michigan State playing spoiler and ruining Indiana's day.
Well, if there was ever a trap game, it's this one because, you go out to Oregon, you win that game, a game that people maybe thought you could cover. You were 7-point dogs, maybe thought you could cover, but really was like, hey, Oregon's going to win. Like this Oregon team's good. And then you go out there and you take care of business and that everyone's singing your praises, right? This is the typical – the rat poison game where it's like, hey, if you're reading your press clippings and you're doing if you're keeping your eye on that, you'll get snuck. And this would be a big one. Aiden Childs, the quarterback of Michigan State, is a good player. And they're coming off, they got a bad taste in their mouth after getting kind of bullied by UCLA last week. So definitely could be spoiler alert. It'd be fun to maybe have on at least keep it on your Score app while you're watching the Buckeyes at 3:30. And if it gets interesting, maybe get it up on the screen. Maybe go split screen there because that could be one where that shakes some things up, especially at the top of the conference. But Kev, looking at the nightcap here, this one for a number of reasons is a massive game. Just in terms of college football in general, anytime Notre Dame and USC lock up, it's always a big game. Now it's big in terms of the Big Ten because USC obviously is now a member of the conference, and they're the head of that second tier. They're ahead of that second group, and it would be really big for the Big Ten as a whole to get another team in there that's in the competition. But really, Kevin, this is a playoff game. Notre Dame and USC cannot afford a loss. Either of them can't. And the winner is going to keep their hopes alive. The loser is going to be on the outside looking in terms of the college football playoff.
See, that's where I disagree. I think Notre Dame is going to make the playoff no matter what because
10-3.
They've gained the system. They're going to be
wait. You think at 9-3 Notre Dame gets in?
Yes, because they're going to be the highest rated non-Power 5 team. Like, look, that's the thing is that's how the college football playoff works. Like, current CFP rankings. Like, if they go to 9-3, I'll tell you right now, they drop to.
They go out of the top 25 if they lose. Is my
no.
Yeah,
it's USC. Even if they go out of the top 25, you're thinking, who's the best? I mean, BYU, are they in the Big 12?
I think BYU's in the Big 12.
So then it's Memphis. Memphis at 6-0 is in USF. USF and Memphis are in the top 25 currently. That are the two they're the group of 5 entries right now.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Wait, who'd you say?
I know. I just said interesting. Like this fact. Like I think we're on two different sides of this coin, but I think this is a good conversation.
Yeah, because like I mean, it's going to be a great game. I think if USC loses, they're officially out. But then you look at the rest of Notre Dame's schedule.
Well, that's part of it. Notre Dame's through the hard part of their schedule. They got nobody left.
Right, which is if they lose, you're banking on USF and Memphis not losing. If USF or Memphis loses, Notre Dame will work its way back into the top 25, and they'll be the highest rated group of 5 or independent because they're stupid. They've gamed the system. If they don't make a playoff, if they do not make a playoff, it is a huge blunder to the point of where Penn State is at right now. Because you can lose a game at Notre Dame, no matter who you lose to, and you will make the playoff because you will be the highest rated non-Power 4 team. And that's who gets admitted every time. So that's why I'm like, it would baffle me. I think Notre Dame still has a way back in, but if they win this game, they're in for sure.
Oh, if they win this game, you're in it.
They're in. Yeah. And USC wins to keep it alive.
Because to that point for USC, like their schedule, while a lot like you look at Ohio State's schedule, it weakens out. Indiana's weakens out. Oregon's weakens out. But USC, like they're hitting their hard part right now. They got obviously Notre Dame, then they go to Nebraska, which will be a tough game. Then they got Northwestern, which they'll have them at home, so they don't have to go to Evanston. They'll roll that game, and then you got Iowa in USC. So like that's like Iowa's always going to be tough, like not a cakewalk. And then you go Oregon and then UCLA. Like that schedule is not easy. This just keeps their heartbeat alive. And I do think we're on opposite sides. We'll see.
They outsmarted everybody. They designed this system with their AD in place. Like,
well, that's the thing.
Yeah, like that's what's crazy. Like, of course, I don't blame them. They're smart for doing it. But if they lose this week, I don't see them dropping that far, especially if it's a close loss. Mm-hmm. If they lose on a last-second play, I could see them dropping to
maybe like a flip. Maybe like they go to 20.
Maybe they might go to 20, and depending on how everything else shakes out, they might not even drop that far. I mean, just looking at it, if USF loses this week, if Texas loses again, if Memphis loses, I don't know who they're playing, if Cincy loses, and if Nebraska loses, like that's just kind of how it is. But it's also like, I'm not sure. I'm trying to see the whole slate this weekend. I can't pay attention to it.
Well, that's the thing. There's going to be some shakeup. This is a big. I almost look at this weekend in college football, and this is the cool part about the college football playoff is because like this game in theory is like playoff-ish, playoff adjacent, where there's potential loser who gets eliminated. There's a lot of elimination games this week, and a lot of them are going to come in the SEC. So I think it's a perfect time to jump to the SEC here because I know there's everyone in Buckeye country feels some type of way about the Southeastern Conference, but there are 3 straight bangers this weekend. Noon, you start with LSU and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's 1.5 points now, 1.5 point favorites. The first time they've been a favorite in an SEC game in like a long time. I saw a stat. I don't remember the exact detail of it, but it's the first time in a long time. And then at 3:30, you got number 5 Ole Miss versus number 9 Georgia, and then the 7:30 game is Tennessee at Alabama. There is some absolute bangers that are going to shake up all the whole college football landscape because Like if Vanderbilt loses, they're out. If LSU loses to Vandy, they're 5-2. They got 2 losses. The loser of Tennessee, Alabama's got 2 losses. If Georgia loses, they've got 2 losses. Like there's going to be a lot of shakeup this weekend down in the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one to watch is Kentucky, Texas at Kentucky.
Oh.
That's my dark horse. That'll be in my dark horse parlay later. But it is. I think that's a team. If I'm hanging my head anywhere, and it might be a crazy statement. The 2 games I'm watching from the SEC is I want Auburn to absolutely stomp Missouri out of the playoff because they don't deserve to be there to begin with. Bo Pabula, decent quarterback, not there yet. Yeah. Their coach is fine. I have a little bit of vendetta. I have a friend who's a Missouri fan, and he's the most obnoxious about it. So I want him out. He stopped his brothers out last year. They were Notre Dame alums. His youngest brother's an Ohio State guy. We're alone battling all these doctors that think they know sports. But no, it'll be a fun game. But those are the 2 I'm kind of headhunting of Kentucky and Auburn are 2 games that I want to see the home team prevail against a better opponent.
Are you picking Kentucky to win? Is that
I'm taking Kentucky to win. I'm taking Auburn to win.
Are you going to parlay those together?
100%. 100%.
Hey, there, call the number.
I might speak in Michigan State money line too.
There's a number at the bottom of your app. Give that one a call when you're free. No, so much fun to be had on Saturday. It's fun. Like this is the best part about as we're getting into the second half of the season, which really sucks. But there's 16 regular season weeks. We're in week number 7 here. Week 8, actually. I got the thing wrong, but week 8. So we're entering the second half of the of college football season, man, and it's gonna be a blast. There's so much to look forward to in this one or in this weekend. And for Ohio State, it's simply take care of business. It's simply go to Wisconsin, go to Madison. Do what you got to do, and we're going to find out what this team's going to be for the rest of the year. Like if they go and try to blow it out, awesome. If they go and just try to win, score more points than the team, then that's just who they're going to be throughout the rest of the year, and that's really all they need to be with the defense and the skill guys that they have. So we'll be exciting from the Ohio State front, and also outside of Buckeye land, it will be pretty cool. So, Kev, any special plans for the weekend? What are we doing? What are we doing this weekend in the Woidke household?
Rinse, repeat. Wedding on Saturday.
Dude, you have too many friends, bro.
Just rinse, repeat. Wedding on Saturday. Tonight, hopefully nothing, but that'll probably change, knowing me. And then Sunday, the welcoming party to Brendan Gulick back from Saving the Gazelles. That'll be fun. He lands at like 11, which is tough. Got to get up early for work the next morning. But for a guy like that doing a cause like that, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it. We're going to hear about this one later. It's going to be a fun weekend. We're with you all weekend long over on Buckeyes Roundtable. We'll be with you in the morning tomorrow with a pregame show, and then we'll be with you throughout the entirety of the show, doing something cool over on the site. Just doing a live game thread. So we'll make it up. We'll tweet it out. We'll get it out to you. But jump in there. I'll be in there bouncing around. If Kevin's in between trips to the bar, he's bouncing in and out of the community post. But get in there, drop your comments, whatever's happening in the Buckeyes game. We'll be reacting to it, and then we will go live as soon. I'm not going to be in Wisconsin. We won't have any boots on the ground there, but as soon as the clock hits 000, we'll go live here to either have a therapy session or to celebrate another Ohio State victory. But it should be a ton of fun, and excited to get into it. So the last reminder, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get over to roundtable.io/sports/NCAA/Ohio State and follow along. Follow me, follow Kevin, follow the rest of the crew. Love producing content just like that. So we're getting out of here on that. It's a football Friday. It is week number 8 in college football, an exciting one at that. We'll be back tomorrow as we get ready for Ohio State versus Wisconsin, and another match for the Buckeyes. So thanks for jumping in and joining us. We'll be back with you soon.